The courtroom wasn't just cold from the air conditioner or the gray cement walls. It felt frozen in betrayal. The silence was so heavy, it pressed against everyone's chest. And at the center of that storm stood Robyn Brown. She was unrecognizable. Not the polished, camera-ready woman fans had watched for over a decade. Her shoulders sagged, her mascara streaked down her face, and her trembling hands clutched a tissue already torn at the edges. Across from her, Kody Brown sat rigid, refusing to meet her eyes. His jaw locked tight, his gaze fixed only on the woman beside him, his alleged fifth wife. The room shifted forward as Robyn took the stand, and in that moment the atmosphere snapped. This wasn't family drama anymore. This wasn't sister wives. This was war. The bailiff handed Robyn the Bible. Her voice cracked as she swore to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. When she finally looked at Kody, her mask shattered. "I loved you," she whispered. "I defended you when Christine walked away, when Janelle turned her back. Even when Mary was pushed out, I stayed. I believed in you. And now I'm standing here, humiliated because you've been hiding a fifth wife behind my back." The courtroom gasped as her attorney slid a folder to the judge. Inside, screenshots of Venmo transfers, late-night hotel receipts, and worst of all, text messages between Kody and the new woman. Sweet nothings, secret vows, plans for a future that erased every other wife. Kody's lawyer shot up with an objection, but the judge's voice was firm. This court is here to uncover the truth, and betrayal is part of that truth. Robyn's voice quivered as she turned toward Kody. "Was I just a placeholder, Kody? Something temporary until you found someone prettier? Someone younger? Or did I ever mean anything at all?" Kody sat stone-faced. He didn't blink. He didn't flinch. And then, something no one expected. From the back row, Mary stood. Beside her, Christine followed. Arms crossed, eyes blazing, they walked forward and sat directly behind Robyn's lawyer. For years, they had been rivals. But in this moment, they stood with her. Kody's mask cracked. His eyes darted from Mary to Christine, disbelief flooding his face. He thought they'd never defend Robyn. But they did. Not out of sisterhood, but because they saw her pain. This wasn't about family anymore. This was about justice. Robyn lifted her phone, her hand shaking. She played a TikTok video. The room gasped. On screen, Kody's alleged fifth wife danced through Robyn's own living room, wearing Kody's missing hoodie. She was surrounded by home decor that Robyn herself had bought. Kody buried his face in his hands, his temple pinched in frustration. For the first time, he looked defeated. "Does emotional abandonment qualify?" Robyn shot at Kody's lawyer. "Because if it does, I have years of evidence." The judge's eyes narrowed. "I'll decide what qualifies. Please continue, Mrs. Brown." And then Robyn broke. Tears streamed as her voice cracked. "I believed I was the one holding this family together. I thought if I stayed, it would survive. But the truth is, we were all being torn apart, one by one, and I was just the last to fall." Silence. Deafening silence. The tick of the clock, the creak of a chair, the echo of her sobs. The judge finally spoke. "We'll recess, and then we'll hear from Mr. Brown." The gavel slammed. Thunder rolled through the room. Robyn had struck the first blow, and now it was Kody's turn to face the fire. The tension in the courtroom thickened. Kody's face remained blank, but the truth finally slipped from his lips. "Yes, I did." The words cracked like glass shattering. Robyn gasped. Her hands flew to her face. The audience erupted in whispers, until the judge's gavel slammed down. Silence returned, but now it was heavier, darker. Christine leaned toward Mary, her voice low but sharp. So it was all about the cameras. He was going to leave her when the filming ended. Mary didn't reply. Her eyes stayed locked on Kody, eyes that once glowed with love, now burning with contempt. Kody loosened his tie, sinking back in his chair. His arrogance showed through exhaustion. I did what I had to do. Nobody understands the strain I've been under. I was trying to hold the family together." The attorney cut in sharply. "And yet, Mr. Brown, you lit the final match yourself." Silence. The judge leaned forward. "Tell me this, Mr. Brown. If Robyn hadn't discovered your fifth wife, would you have ever confessed?" Kody hesitated. His stare went blank. "When the time was right." The judge's tone sharpened. "And when would that be, Mr. Brown? After filming ended? After the paychecks cleared? After the cameras stopped rolling?" Kody said nothing, but his silence screamed louder than words. The judge straightened her notes. "This court will now hear from Mrs. Christine Brown and Mrs. Mary Brown. Their testimony will weigh heavily in establishing betrayal, asset mismanagement, and emotional harm." The gavel struck, and with it, Kody's carefully crafted image shattered, not just in court, but in the eyes of everyone watching. Christine takes the stand. The bailiff called her name. "Christine Brown, please come forward." She rose, not with arrogance, but with a steady purpose. The woman who had once whispered enough was now ready to speak truth. "I'm not here for revenge," Christine began, her voice clear and unwavering. "I'm here because I survived the same manipulation Robyn is drowning in now. And if the court doesn't see it, she won't survive either." Robyn, still trembling, gave a small nod. Christine's voice grew sharper. "Kody used silence as a weapon. When something went wrong, he disappeared. Emotionally, physically. He'd call us dramatic, tell us we were overreacting, but in reality, he was creating fear and confusion, and we carried the blame like it was ours." She held up a printed page. "This is from my journal 2018. Kody told me he was planning a legal reset." His words. "Not just with me or Mary, with everyone except Robyn." The judge raised her brow. "So that's when he began emotionally detaching?" Christine nodded. "Yes, he pushed Mary away first, then me. He kept Janelle close for her loyalty. He kept Robyn because she was devoted, but even she, especially she, was just another pawn to protect his ego." Gasps rippled through the courtroom. Christine's eyes hardened. Once during a fight, Kody smirked and said, "Let the wives fight. It keeps attention off me." That's when I realized he never wanted unity. He wanted chaos. Chaos he could control. The room went silent. Christine's words cut deeper than any evidence yet. Mary's bombshell. Christine stepped down, and the tension shifted. The bailiff called, "Mary Brown, please take the stand." Mary walked with a calmness the world had never seen in her. For decades, she had been portrayed as the loyal one, the woman who clung to hope even when there was nothing left. But today, she walked lighter, freer, as though she had finally dropped her chains. She swore in, sat, and then dropped the bombshell. "I found a prenup." The room erupted. Gasps, murmurs. Even the judge leaned forward. "A prenup, Mrs. Brown?" "Yes," Mary said firmly. "In 2014, after I divorced Kody so he could legally marry Robyn, I was organizing papers in our file cabinet. That's when I found it, a prenup between Kody and Robyn, signed 2 weeks before my divorce was finalized." The crowd gasped again. Robyn's face drained of color. Kody fidgeted, restless in his seat. Mary continued. "The prenup stated that if they divorced, Robyn would receive rights to assets, Coyote Pass land, royalties, even a secret savings account." "Did you confront him?" the judge asked. "I did," Mary replied. "He told me it was just a draft, that it was for the family's protection, but I wasn't included. Neither was Christine, neither was Janelle, and clearly, not even Robyn, because years later, he had another woman sign another prenup." Kody slammed his hand on the table. "That's confidential!" The gavel cracked like thunder. "Mr. Brown, you will not yell in this courtroom!" Robyn shook her head slowly, tears filling her eyes as if realizing the truth had been staring her down all along. Christine whispered from the back, "We weren't wives. We were contracts." Mary's voice cracked, but her words were steady. I thought I was sacrificing for love, that I was building a future for our family. But Kody wasn't building a future. He was building an escape plan, paper by paper, lie by lie. The judge scribbled notes, then looked up. Anything else you'd like to add, Mrs. Brown? Mary locked her eyes on Kody. I'm not angry anymore. I'm awake, and I want this court to wake up too. As she stepped down beside Christine, the judge announced, this court will not continue until Mr. Brown's full financial records are subpoenaed and reviewed. The testimony provided paints a disturbing picture of manipulation, deception, and financial betrayal. Kody leaned forward to protest, but his lawyer gripped his arm, pulling him back. The gavel slammed once more, and just like that, the tide had turned against Kody Brown. The courtroom had seen tears before. It had seen lies unravel and vows crumble. But what happened next changed everything. The bailiff's voice cut through the silence like a blade. Please approach the stand. Every head in the room turned. And there she was, Kody's fifth wife. She didn't walk in like a witness. She walked in like a queen entering her throne room, chin high, spine stiff. Her lips curled in the faintest smirk, as though the entire courtroom already belonged to her. Robyn, trembling beside her attorney, shrank back instinctively. Christine leaned toward Mary and whispered, she's proud of it. Mary nodded. She's here to win. The woman's outfit said it all. A blood-red blazer, heels clicking with military precision. She swore the oath without hesitation. Her name rolled off her tongue slow and deliberate, dragging each syllable just long enough for the cameras to drink it in. And then, the bombshell. Are you lawfully married to Mr. Brown? The judge asked. No, she said calmly. Spiritually, yes. Emotionally, more than any of them ever were. The gallery gasped. Robyn flinched like she'd been struck across the face. Please keep answers factual, the judge warned. But the damage was already done. When asked when their relationship began, the fifth wife replied without blinking, 2 years ago, at a real estate convention in Scottsdale. He said he felt trapped, that he hadn't shared a bed with Robyn in years, that she was just a business partner by then. Robyn buried her face in her hands. Christine's jaw clenched. Mary glared at Kody, who sat frozen, expressionless, like a soldier bracing for impact. But the worst was yet to come. Did Mr. Brown promise you any assets? The judge asked. She nodded confidently. Yes, we drafted an agreement last year. After he untangled his old marriages, he vowed to sign over property on Coyote Pass, plus production royalties from the show. The judge's eyes burned into Kody. Is this true? Silence. Mr. Brown, answer the question. Finally, Kody muttered, yes. The courtroom erupted. Christine leapt from her seat. You were giving her the land we all worked for, while telling us we were broke? Robyn stood trembling with rage. You sat at my table, played with my children, and all along you were planning to replace me? But the fifth wife didn't flinch. She turned to Robyn and said, cold as steel, he was already gone. You just refused to see it. The words hit like a bullet. Robyn nearly collapsed. When asked if she felt any remorse, the fifth wife's answer froze the entire room. No, the family was broken long before me. I'm just the only one who dared to admit it. Christine recoiled in disgust. Mary muttered under her breath. Even the judge's patience cracked. This court does not recognize verbal promises as binding. What you think you're owed may vanish in litigation. The fifth wife only smirked. I'm ready. Her confidence was terrifying. Her presence left a scar. And as she walked away from the stand, she looked back. Not at Kody, not at the judge, but directly at Robyn. That smile. Again. That unspoken message. I've already won. The judge slammed the gavel. Court adjourned. We reconvene tomorrow for closing arguments and asset hearings. But when the judge returned, her tone was different, sharper, final. This court has heard 5 sessions of testimonies, hacked emails, secret prenups, and lies. Mr. Brown, you have shown a pattern of deception, financial, emotional, and spiritual.